Good afternoon, all. CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Tuesday afternoon, July 16th. We're looking at window traders and market profile of the ES and the NQ. So the real good news is we have new all-time high today in the S&P and the Dow. Dow just missed 41,000. We hit a new high in SPY and ES in the closing minutes of the day as we go out with a price probe to the upside. Once again, the bad news is the volume in SPY has a potential to be in the top 10 lightest. I don't think it will, but regardless of whether it is or not, it's horrible again. But that does not deter price from going higher. Okay? So in the short term, that doesn't matter. In the long term, it may. NQ goes out. You know, we tried to go trend down early today in ES. Then we tried trend up briefly. Both failed. NQ tried to go, had a very wide IB in NQ, and then they didn't even take it out until F period, and they didn't get much below the IB high or low. They just took out the low in F and G. So they spent a good part of the day inside of that IB. They are still in balance on the daily. They're up on the monthly and weekly. ES up on all three, and then you got the righty. If there's ever a time you know when long-term money is involved, this is one of them. Righty has exploded out of balance from the past 4 days. Today's volume is going to be possibly the heaviest with the after hours, if not very close to it. It's at 65 million already. They averaged 33 million. So rest assured, this is long-term money coming into the Russell. Okay? So that's another reason why you might get the NQ pulling back a bit. They go out with a price probe in righty and 3 sets of single prints in K, J, and I, and their third gap in 4 days, and they're all holding. Now, generally, gap and go has not really held at all, but when long-term money's involved, gap and go generally works, and it has in righty for sure. As far as us, we go out in ES with the price probe. We had an 11. Oh, this is SPY, I'm sorry. We had an 11 for an 11 wide point of control. SPY was only 10. And then we never got back down as L and M never got back down to POC. So we did not get an opportunity to have our first perfect point of control for the year. Trader Vate had issues again throughout the day, freezing, which kind of kept me out of some trades, especially in F period, which kind of frustrated me. Still had a good day, had an excellent morning. We saw the market really well today. I did take a short in ES against the overnight high right before the open and ended up taking it off for break even once we got it. I didn't do it in NQ. I should have, because NQ would have paid. NQ front ran it initially and backed off, but that's fine. I then did take longs in NQ once we got the overnight high on pullbacks against the 144, the overnight halfback. It bounced off the 144 numerous times. So it was doing well. I did well in NQ in A period. B period, I took a short in NQ to take out A's low. Just sensed that something had changed there, and it did. And I took a short against it to get A's low, and then once we kept coming back in, basically with the ebb and flow on the short side. So that ebb and flow can change, and it did. It went from longs in A to shorts in B. I was short in C period in NQ against both the single prints, and then when they filled the single prints the first time as it backed off. Now, we didn't get the IB low until F. I kept telling the room the odds of getting the IB low, I think, are still very good in NQ because of the value, even though we had the overnight high. Well, the one loss I did take in NQ is in D period. I said this is going to be a very visual area. Halfback was higher. Wherever halfback was, B's high. It got higher than I wanted to. I took it off for a loss. It did end up rolling over, and more importantly, it did what I thought it would do. Now, I didn't trade F because the machines were freezing. All right, the Trader Vate platform, DOM was freezing. But it had rallied up to 25, and I'm telling the room I would like to be short here, but I don't want to take it because of the issues. Well, we went from 25 to 75. We went 50 points real quick. So not only would that have been a really nice short, I also said I don't think we're going to try to go trend again since we failed in B, and it would have been a nice fade after covering the short. But again, I did not take the trade because of the issues with Trade of 8. I did take a long. Then when they kept pushing, I'm like, they're not getting much for their efforts. At some point, they're going to stop the one-time framing. I did take a long in I that made some money, but I never got involved when it did finally pop the top in J period. I did take one short in K at the time at value high and half back, which backed off within a second of 10 points, which was a nice trade. And that was the last trade of the day. So I don't want to say I got kept out of a lot of trades because of the platform issues. Definitely some. This is my livelihood. And, I get more upset when I have issues with the platforms than I do when I have a poor trade. One of the main reasons I stopped trading options because of the problems with the option platforms. So I've been very happy trading futures on Trade of 8. But these last 2 days, it leaves me a little concerned, especially since they really haven't answered my request about what is going on. And I know it's not just me, because Apex didn't allow you to trade on Trade of 8 all day yesterday, and there's many people in my room also that have experienced the same things I have. Okay, all-time high, 21.25 in ES. Price probe, 1575. 11 wide Paco, 2.25, and today's low of 90.25. In SPY, all-time high, 565.16. Price probe, 564.60. 10 wide at 563.33, and today's low of 562.10. And then on the chart, so here's your daily. Daily is up, one-time framing up 3 days. Again, you would like to start getting more distance from the daily away. The monthly is very healthy. The weekly is very healthy. You'd like to get the daily not only to pick up volume, but to get away from previous daily highs. So right now, again, volume 36 million. Yeah, I don't think it'll be in the top 10, but unfortunately, it's still very, very poor. Thank you for liking and subscribing to this channel. Please come check us out at CamelbackTrading.org. Go check out the different price points I have on my website. Enjoy your evening, and we will speak prior to the opening tomorrow.